Hello friends, my name is Emile and welcome back to some more Forza Horizon 3. Today we're going to be taking a look through the newest DLC pack released for this game. This is the January DLC pack, also known as the Rockstar Energy Car Pack. It features 7 vehicles and is available for £5.59 or your regional equivalent. Let's jump right into this with the first car of the pack, which is the 2016 Bentley Bentayga. 599 horsepower, 663 foot-pound of torque, 5,340 pounds of weight. This is an A-class car, 751 MPI, all-wheel drive. You may be saying, oh look, it's another SUV. I've got to be perfectly honest with you, I was like that until I actually saw this thing in game. I've decided all of a sudden that I really like the Bentley Bentayga. I think this is a really good looking vehicle actually. Admittedly, the F-Pace was better from the last car pack, but I'm still somewhat excited to get out there and try this big Bentley out. Next up, this is sort of the cover car of the pack. We have the 2015 BMW i8, 357 horsepower, 420 foot-pound of torque, 3,380 pounds of weight, A-class car, 796 MPI, all-wheel drive, hybrid of course. The i8, I've got to be perfectly honest here, this isn't really my thing. I'm not really into this car. I don't particularly like it the way it looks. I don't particularly like the fact it's a hybrid. It just really isn't my thing, but I can appreciate a lot of people have wanted this car for a very long time. And I can appreciate Turn 10 for actually putting this car in the game, because again, it keeps the people happy. You know, this is a car which was the #1 most requested, I believe, by the Forza community. Next up, we have the 2014 Ford number 11 Rockstar F150 trophy truck, 850 horsepower, 690 foot-pound of torque, 6,250 pounds of weight, A-class car, 798 MPI, rear-wheel drive. Gotta be honest, again, the trophy trucks aren't my thing, and I don't think they're many of people's things, because most of the people I've spoke to have sort of had enough of these showing up in the game. It doesn't really hurt to have another one, but at the same time, this space could have been taken up by, you know, sort of a more useful car, sort of something different that we haven't really seen. But, you know, whatever, it is in the game, and I guess it's kind of cool because trophy trucks are kind of mad. Next up, 1972 Ford Falcon XA GTH-O, 410 horsepower, 364 foot-pound of torque, C-Class car, 551 MPI, rear-wheel drive. This particular car I do take a little bit of an issue with, just because it's very similar to the Falcon we already have in the game. I do appreciate the history of this vehicle. I believe there was only one ever made due to the whole 160 miles per hour Australian government getting very triggered thing. But it just isn't really for me, considering the amount of Falcons we have in the game already, especially of this area. You know, we've got a lot of 70s Falcons in this game. I find it hard to get excited by them, but I do appreciate, you know, there is a lot of history behind this car, and that's kind of cool. Next up, probably one of the better cars in this pack, for me at least, one of 2 cars that I'm hugely excited to drive, the 1987 Nissen Skyline GTS-R, the R31, 206 horsepower, 181 foot-pound of torque, 2,965 pounds of weight, C-Class car, 588 MPI, rear-wheel drive. The R31 is probably my favourite generation of Skyline, and it's always kind of got to me the fact that this car never really is in many games these days. It's sort of in Gran Turismo, and that's about it. But we finally have an R31 in Forza. I can't wait to do a build on this thing, you know, stick some BBSs on it, lower it, maybe look through the engine swaps and so on. I'm super happy the R31 is in the game. And again, my favourite generation of Skyline when I'm actually thinking. Next up, 2015 Radical RXC Turbo, 454 horsepower, 500 foot-pound of torque, 2,072 pounds of weight, S2 class car, 971 MPI, mid-engine rear-wheel drive. The Radical isn't really my thing, again, that's sort of the theme of this car pack really, isn't it? Extreme track toys just don't particularly tickle my pickle, and the Radical kind of sits on the Caparo T1 level for me. I wasn't hugely excited when that thing went into Forza 6, not hugely excited by this thing, but it is the closest we'll ever get to an LMP car in Horizon, I believe, so I can imagine it's going to be fun. I'm definitely going to try it out. Another thing to note is this car comes in loads of colours, and so does the Bentley and so does the Falcon, so that's one positive thing. This is a very colourful car pack. And finally today, probably my favourite car from the pack, although I could understand why people don't particularly like it. This is the 2015 Volvo V60 Polestar, 346 horsepower, 368 foot-pound of torque, 3,985 pounds of weight, A-class car, 705 MPI, all-wheel drive. Now, I can understand why people wouldn't like this car in the pack. We do already have the S60, which is basically the same car. This is just the wagon version of it. And, you know, I do have to think about that. The fact that this car technically is already in the game. But at the same time, it's a Volvo wagon. and I love Volvo wagons. Anyone who's stuck around on the channel for any length of time will know that I adore the 850R. I love Volvo wagons, so seeing the V60 Polestar in the game is absolutely fantastic. Also, there's only 80 of these vehicles that exist in the world because Volvo decided not to build too many V60 Polestars, so yeah, I guess it's kind of unique in that sense. I mean, I can understand why people wouldn't like this car in the pack, but for me personally, I adore this car. Again, this and the R31 are probably my two favourite cars in the pack. Overall, though, should you actually buy this car pack? Well, it really does depend on you personally. For me, I don't think it's worth the full asking price. I think the R31 and the V60 Polestar are the highlights. The Radical I'm somewhat excited to drive, as am I the Bentayga. I wouldn't really buy the pack for those 4 cars alone though, and these 3 just aren't really my thing. I'm going to drive the IA. I'm not really sure about that just because we already have a trophy truck, and kind of same with the Falcon. But yeah, that is the Rockstar Energy Car Pack. Please tell me what your thoughts are on it in the comment section below. Anyway, friends, that is it from me. Expect a couple of videos on this car pack. Probably going to do an R31 build, and I'm going to be doing a full review of the Volvo V60 Polestar, and I'll probably play around with the Bentayga as well, so stay tuned for that. Anyways, friends, I want to thank you all very much for watching. My name's been The Real Emile, and until next time, farewell.